Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be having a look at the CHIMERA, the British medium tier 8 tank that has arrived back in Blitz store for 10,000 gold. But for that price you get the camo, you get 10 certificates for the ×5 full equipment. So I think it's a pretty fair offer, not bad at all. Now the tank wise, it's a tank that I said in my previous video with the tank, it's a tank that I shouldn't like, but I do. It has shit DPM, but it has that nice alpha gun, 440 I think it is, yeah, 440 alpha gun for a medium tank. My equipment, what I run is, as you can see on the screen, I'm not going to run through them, it's pretty standard for most of my tanks. But yeah, the DPM is pretty low at just 2,000. Penetration at 218, and it has that 440 alpha shot. It is a 127mm gun, and it has 4.6 rounds per minute, and that gives it a 13.5 second reload. Now I will run this with calibrated with the rammer, sorry, because the DPM is low, the penetration's okay as it is, and I don't really want to lower the DPM any more than it is. Speed 50 kilometers an hour, so it's quite a quick tank for how heavy it is, how big it is. And it's got, the armor wise, the armor is actually pretty good. The armor is pretty good. The turret especially is very, very troll. You do have the hatches on top, but you can see the spaced armor around the gun mantlet, and then around that it's all red as hell. So it does have nice turret armor. And even it doesn't have bad hull armor either. If you can get the angles up, get using the 10 degrees of gun depression that it has got, you will get some bounces in this shot, in this tank, sorry. So the hatches on top are weak, so you can get penned on the hatches. So do pay that in mind, pay attention to that, bear that in mind when you are going hull down, that they can still pen you. It does have spaced armor on the side of the tracks, which pretty much cover the tracks, so that will stop any HE or heat penetrating. But other than that, the sides, the rear, the turret, back of the turret is not so strong. So as I've said, you will get bounces, and I said in my previous video, it's a tank that I shouldn't really like, but I do. I enjoy playing the tank. The DPM is shocking. It's not the best of DPMs, but you play in a platoon with someone with good DPM. I mean, this, we done 400 and something damage to the Bulldog, and then we do over 500 damage to the Type 62. So if you could get those HE damages up, if you can get the HE down and penetrate in full, you can do some nice damage with that HE. But definitely it's a tank to either face hug or go hull down. You need to pay attention. As I've said, you don't want to be coming up against a medium tank in tier 8 or tier 9 or even tier 7 one-on-one, because your DPM isn't good enough. So always have that support. I wouldn't play frontline unless you have that support. This game, I mean, we get absolutely wrecked, but we have support, so it's not too bad if you are frontline. I mean, we do get lucky that we are on 29 hit points and the Pantera doesn't manage to take us out, so we do get lucky there with that final bounce from the Pantera. But yeah, second line medium, it is a quick tank, so I wouldn't play it with the heavies. Play it with your medium tanks, second line. Get behind your mediums, let the red team shoot your mediums while you are doing that big alpha gun, alpha damage to them whilst they are dealing with your mediums. So definitely not a frontline tank, because your DPM isn't enough. It isn't good enough to come up against those CDCs and stuff like that. So it is a nice tank for 10,000 gold. I do think that's a fair price, with considering you get the camo, full equipment, you get the avatar or whatever, you get the 10 times 5 of the 10 times of the times 5 bonuses. So it's a good deal. It is a good deal. It's not a tank that I enjoy playing it. It's a good tank, but it's not a tank I would sit there and, you know what, I'm going to go and play the CHIMERA. It's not that kind of tank. It's not like Type 62 or something like that. It's not OP. It's far from OP. So it all depends. Is it worth getting? Again, it all depends on what you want and what money you've got or what gold you've got. If you're a collectible or not, then yeah, if you've got the money, then yeah, it is a good tank to have in your garage. but it's not one of those tanks where you sit and, you know what, I'm just going to go and play some premium, I'm going to go and earn some credits, and I'm going to go and play the Chimera as the tank to play. It's not, I don't think it's that kind of tank. There is plenty of other better tanks than this out there, with stronger turrets, better DPM, so I wouldn't personally pick this to go and play and have a lot of fun in. A couple of rounds maybe, if you're just skipping through the tiers or skipping through the tanks in tier 8. That's about it. That is about it. It's nothing really like wow, but I like that in premium tanks. You know, it's a premium tank that makes money. It's not OP, and that's what premium tanks should be. That is what premium tanks should be, not completely pay to win. This isn't paid. This definitely isn't pay to win. It does make some nice credits, and you can get the bounces, but also you can get penetrated. I mean, we got penetrated here. We've only bounced now 415 damage, so you can't really rely on the armor so much. Sorry, excuse me. But you can. It is possible to get those bounces. It all depends on how you're playing the tank. I mean, if you're in the open, then yeah, you're going to get penned. If you are hold down, wiggling that turret side to side, and yeah, that's when you will start to get those bounces. So it all depends on what you want. People always say to me, and it's a stupid question, like, is this tank worth it? Then I don't know. It's probably the question I get asked the most. Is this tank worth buying? Unless it's really, really, really good, I will never sit there and say, yes, this tank is worth buying, unless I honestly think the price is really good, or the tank is really good for the price that it's for sale. I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question because I don't know your situation. Have you got the money? If you buy this tank, are you going to be skint? Are you going to have no money, or have you only got 10,000 gold? And if you use that, is that all your gold gone and you can't afford to get any more? Excuse me. So it all depends on your personal situation. If you've got 20-30k gold just sitting in your account and you don't own this tank, then yeah, why not? Sure, go and buy the tank. At least it's for gold and not money or crates or anything like that. It's 10,000 gold. Pretty fair price for a tier 8 tank with the collectible. So yeah, it's a nice tank, nothing special, and it's very hard. Because of the DPM, it's very hard to carry. We are going to see a little carry here. It was a 1 versus 3, but it's very, very hard to carry if you're on your own versus 3 or 4 or 2, because of that DPM. You need to really get into positions. You need to be patient. You need to let them push. Because if you push, you're going to maybe get one shot off, but if you're up against another medium, like here now, he's up against an Action X, which it's a great tank, very, very good tank with fantastic DPM. That was a nice shot. And he needed to hit that shot. If he would have missed that shot, it would have been game over. But now he's bringing down to a 1 versus 1. He still needs to hit the Object 252 twice. And I don't know if you watched the beginning of this. I mean, his team were raging at him so much. What are you going to do now, Chimera? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, punk. I'm going to fucking carry the game, and I'm going to get us a win. And that is exactly what he does. The Object 252U now, he makes there's two mistakes. I mean, one, if he didn't want to, he didn't have to push. They still have the cap points. He would have easily won on caps. Or 2, he has 613 hit points. I think he might even have more DPM than the Chimera. I'm not 100% sure. I personally would have just pushed. You could take a shot. If you go face hugging the Chimera, then the Object 252U is very difficult. But eventually he gets the shot off and he low rolls. 15 HP left. This guy has used the adrenaline and he is going to reload before, and he is going to get the win. So really nice win there. You can see 1300 block damage, so he's almost blocked his entire hit pool, and he pulls up the win. Nice Kolobodov, nice ace, and a nice amount of credit. So that is the Chimera. It is a nice tank, but it can get a little bit boring, and it all depends your situation, if it's worth buying. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye.
with